Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Take y'all seats, man. Thank y'all for being here, and welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Flame. This is the second episode, and I'm still your host, Jeremiah Paprocki. Make some noise for Caleb Brookman. He's our musical director. He's still here with us tonight. Studio audience, thank you for being here. We have a great group of guests tonight. Jordan Blount is here. We have Rene Sarabia. And we have a stand-up act from Younis Dhaher. All right. Our first guest is from Cork, Ireland, and plays on the UIC men's basketball team. Please welcome Jordan Blount.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jordan, thank you for being here.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me. What's up, everybody?
Just basically tell us where you're from and everything up until how you got into basketball.
Okay, so as Jeremiah mentioned, I'm from Cork, Ireland. I played basketball since I was 7 years old. I left Ireland when I was very young. I left Ireland when I was 14. And played basketball all over Europe. Played in countries like, I lived in Spain, England, a little bit in Italy, Greece, and played all over until I made the decision to come to America. Had a bunch of offers, took a couple visits, came to Chicago, loved the city, fell in love with it immediately, and knew that this is where I wanted to be for the next 4 years.
That's dope, man. Appreciate you choosing UIC.
Nah, it's unbelievable.
And it was tragic. Last summer, you actually got injured and you couldn't play for the first half of the season. Talk about that and like what did you injure and how the recovery process was like getting back, because I know now you're playing. So,
last year I suffered an ACL injury. I tore my ACL in my left knee and both meniscus. Unfortunately, that had me out for 6 months. Normally, it's a process that takes 9 months to a year. You know, some people don't ever come back from it. So I was super lucky to come back in such a short period of time and compete for my final season. It was a tough process. It was a long journey, but now I'm starting to see the rewards of it. I came back on the court in late December, and we're about to make a push for the playoffs, so we're in a good position. So I'm glad to be back.
It's good that you're back, man. And like, even before all that happened, like last year, I saw that you were getting interviewed by ESPN post-game. Even I think your dad and your brother got interviewed during the game. And you also been on podcasts and stuff like that. So talk about that. How has, you know, your hard work paid off and the media catching you? How does that feel?
It's extremely rewarding. You know, a lot of times we don't get a chance to like take a look back and really appreciate it. But you know, having a time where I was injured and I had a chance to look back at everything I did, it was a really fun journey up until this point, and still is a fun journey. But you know, coming to Chicago is such a sports city. You know what I mean? So if like you're doing well in any type of sport, the city's gonna do everything they can to help you. I think UIC did a great job of marketing the team. I think, you know, the media has been unbelievable with us. They do a lot for us. So I appreciate everyone that's shown interest in me, the team, and the program, and hope that you continue to do so going forward.
No, that's facts. That's facts, definitely. We all know that you're Irish. You were a part of the Irish Parade. They have that every March here in Chicago. How did you become a part of that?
Yeah, so I was actually on the boat that died the River Green, which was an unbelievable experience, knowing how prestige of an event that is every year in a city like Chicago. You know, growing up, that was something we would have seen on the news back home, you know. So being able to be a part of that was huge. I actually got involved in that through Barstool Sports. They came to a couple of our games, our nationally televised games, and just liked the intensity that I played with, and we connected, and they had me on their podcasts and had me on their shows and created a friendship more than anything. And they reached out to me and was like, hey, you're the only real Irish person we actually know in Chicago. So we want you to be a part of this. And I got to be, and it was an amazing day. You know, UIC did a lot for me in getting to that point. So it was an unbelievable experience. I think that's one that I'll remember forever. So yeah, it was great.
No, that's definitely awesome, man. And this is your last year, so this is basically your last push for the playoffs. Yeah. The most important question, are you guys going to win conference and maybe even see UIC basketball in March Madness?
Yeah, I think you will. I think we're playing our best basketball of the season right now. We just beat the number 2 team in the conference by 30 points yesterday. Yeah. So I think, you know, we had a lot of struggles early in the season, a lot of injuries, you know, a team that was supposed to be riddled with seniors ended up having, you know, 4 of our starting 5 not playing for pretty much the whole first half of the season.
It wasn't just you, it was a lot more.
Yeah, so it was myself, Rob Howard, he was our starting center, Tarkus Ferguson was missing the first 3 games, Marcus Adi missed the first 10 games. So, you know, getting everyone back at the time that we did and playing the basketball that we're playing now, I do really think that we could make a good run and make a push for March Madness.
So before you go, is there anything you'd like to say?
Again, thanks for having me on the show. Shout out to UIC. We actually have a jersey giveaway night on February 27th against Detroit. And these are the jerseys we're giving away. So you can see there's City Edition. We'll be using this jersey. We actually have 2 of our pyromaniacs with us. So if you guys could stand up really quickly. So these are the replica jerseys that I'll be giving out. And we actually have a bunch for the crowd tonight. So, yeah. So I'm not too sure how Jeremiah wants to go about giving these out and who gets them. But
oh, this is an Oprah moment for me. You get a jersey. You get a jersey. We'll do that in the intermission. But Jordan, thank you for being here.
Absolute pleasure.
I appreciate you, man. When we come back, we'll have Rene Sarabia.
Thank you.
Hey, would you or anyone you know like to be a guest on the show? Send in your submission to latenightUIC@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Late Night Flame. Our next guest has 2 residencies in the city. Please welcome Rene Sarabia. Good to see you, man. Rene, thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Check. Thank you guys for coming out. Shout out UIC and Jeremiah.
All right, man. So I understand you're a DJ. Tell us about that. How'd you get started into that?
You know, I started going to a lot of music concerts. I'm big into electronic music, and I just figured like creating that vibe up there. I was like, man, I want to do that. So you know, I met up with my cousin who's an actual DJ. He's a little bit older than me and more established. And he put me on with some equipment, and I just started practicing a lot, stuck to my craft, and I'm happy to be here where I'm at today.
So your stage name is DJ Midnight. Why'd you choose that?
Basically, I'm an insomniac. Like, you ever seen that meme where it's like, your last decent night's sleep was in the womb? That's basically me.
Oh, no, I never saw that.
Well, yeah, I basically get no sleep. That's how I came up with it. Another reason is because when I first started out, I would drop mixes on SoundCloud, and it would all be on like at midnight. So that's how I came up with the name.
Okay, dope. So you said you make electronic music? Is that the genre? I don't know DJ stuff.
I'm not much into production. I'm mainly just a DJ, but electronic music is my favorite.
Okay, why'd you choose that to DJ?
Mainly electronic music is like my main focus, I would say. But I would say I'm more of an open format DJ, like club-like setting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you just do whatever.
Yeah, I throw in a lot of reggaeton, which is Hispanic music. And I throw in a lot of hip-hop and like I said, mainly the EDM. Those 3 genres are the most popping right now, so try to keep them all in together.
So DJing is your life. How important of a role has it played so far?
Not as much just DJing, but also just the music is the best part, you know. Being up there, doing what I love. It's a big passion of mine outside of other things like school and any other interest I would ever have. Music is just like the best thing in my life, I would say, you know. And it just makes me feel like nothing else. It's just magical, like basically oxygen to me. I can't even put into words.
No, I feel that. I feel that. So if you guys don't know, DJing, the goal is to like land down some sort of residency at a bar or a club. You have 2. You got your second one last November. Tell us how you got that and where it's at and where people could find you.
Yeah, I'm playing over on Taylor Street. It's called the Bartenders. And I landed that through a friend of mine. He's in my fraternity. He's a brother of mine, actually. And I've been playing there since November, like you said, so it's about a couple months now. It's a great vibe, you know. I get to reach my full potential there, I would say. And all the people that come out to see me are having a good time. And I just read off the energy, and it's a great vibe overall.
Where could people find you? Like social, plug your social.
Yeah, mainly on Instagram. So it's my last name, Sarabia, SARABIA_777.
All right. Rene, appreciate you, man, for coming out. Thank you. When we come back, we'll have an interview and stand up with Younis Dhaher. Hey, be sure to keep up with the show on social media. Catch up on missed moments. Find out who will be on the next show and where to be a part of our next live taping. Follow us on all 3 channels. Yes, all 3 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Late Night UIC. Welcome back to the Late Night Flame. Our final guest tonight has his own growing comedy group. Please welcome Younis Dhaher.
Keep it going. Keep it going. How y'all feeling tonight?
Appreciate you, bro.
I wish I was your hype, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? How you guys doing? You doing good? Man, thank you for coming out, man. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here, man. I know you're into comedy. Tell us how you got into that and where it brought you now.
So I've always been like a writer, right? Like, I don't know, there's probably a lot of writers in the room. So you just, is there any writers in the room? Yeah, make some noise for that. So I've just always gravitated towards it. And my whole family's hilarious. Like, I'm not even the funny one in my household. Everyone's funny. And I just kind of like always wanted to, but never thought I could do it. You know what I mean? So fast forward, it was out here at UIC. They had like a last comic standing like last year. Was it last year? The year before?
Was it 2018?
2018,
yeah.
So 2 years ago almost. They had last comic standing. I bumped into a friend of mine named Yazid, who's in my Terminal 5, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. He tells me, yo, let's go do it. So I performed. I ended up winning, and then I just kind of just kept working on my craft ever since then. And like you said, you just kind of get better at it. You start feeling the energy, and yeah.
So you mentioned it right now. Terminal 5, that is your comedy group that just started.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did it start?
So I'm hosting a show for like a hip hop summit in the Burbs, like a College DuPage. Shout out College DuPage. And I was doing it. My boy Eddie, I asked him to perform, and he brought his friend Rami with, who's sitting right there. And Rami turns out to be a comedian. So we were talking after the show, and I was like, yo, I want to throw a comedy show this summer. Mind you, never threw a show before, zero experience. And we're just like, let's just throw a show over the summer. We rented a theater. He called one of his guys, I called one of my guys, and we just came up with the name like Terminal 5 Comedy, similar to Terminal 5, the international airport, because we're all from different places. And we ended up selling out that show at Victory Gardens. And then, yeah, from there we just did like another show in October, another show in January, and then now we're aiming for another show in May, hopefully. So.
Oh, that's real dope, man. That's real cool what you're doing. And you also have something else cool that's on campus. Yeah. And it's the weekly open mics on Wednesday at the JST Event Center. So, tell us about that, how you started it and why. So
why I started it was I would go to open mics and I wouldn't feel as included. You know, I'm from Iraq originally. I was born in Iraq. And we would go to a lot of open mics where it's majority, either white people, nothing wrong with it. It's just like I didn't feel as included. And sometimes they would cross the boundary on certain jokes that just made me feel uncomfortable. So I remember telling my mom about it. I was like, yo, I don't like it there, I'm gonna go the next day, I'm gonna just roast everyone, you know what I mean? And she was like, don't do that, just start your own thing, and if you know, you just create your own vibe. So I ended up reaching out to a professor, Kashana Gray, she's a comm professor, great professor by the way, and she helped me set up the open mic over there, and it's open to all artists. If you're a poet, if you're a musician, if you're a rapper, even a DJ, man, if you wanna bring your things, do like 2-3 songs, you know, like 10-15 minutes, start it off, I would love to have you. So stuff like that. So if you know anyone who's any type of, you know, performer whatsoever, send them my way, dude. It'll be raw. Every Wednesday we've been doing it, and we have it till May. So from now till May, it's every Wednesday. So.
No, that's dope, man. It's cool what you're doing. You're also not just a comedian, but you also are good with the public. You hosted Spark 2019. Just tell us about that. How'd you get that, and how did that feel? I mean, 21 Savage was the headliner, Kuko was there, some big name artists, and you had to control the crowd. So talk about that.
That instance where Kuko jumped in, you mean? Talking about that instance where I had to go back on the. Never mind.
No, I don't know,
okay.
but yeah.
Hey. So I got that because they just did like, hey, if you want to be a host, you know, submit a video. I think you submitted a video too at the time.
Yeah.
Yours was, I thought you were gonna win, to be honest with you. You know, he got the late night. So make some noise for Jeremiah. He deserved it.
Thank you guys, thank you. I appreciate y'all, man, for real.
Yeah, I ended up doing that, and it was me and another female who was a great. I think her name is Aisha. I might be mistaken.
Asha did it, yeah.
She did a great job too. And we ended up hosting it. It was great. Not gonna lie, 21 Savage was bougie as hell. I'm not gonna. Can I cuss? He said he can't cuss. I'm sorry about that. I'm not supposed to cuss. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of people that came out. It was like 4,000 people, I think. It was epic, dude. It was raw. So I had fun doing that.
No, that's dope, man. But before we go here, tell people where they could follow you.
Just when I get off stage, please like come up, and I want to follow you guys. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a performer or anything. Like I can say my Instagram is the real Younis. It's just the real THE. You know, regular spelling, not the real like D8. All right, never mind. But it's the real, and then YOUNIS. So that's all. Yeah.
Okay. I believe you have some set material for us tonight. You ready to perform it? All right. When we come back, we'll have stand-up from Eunice. Be sure to subscribe to UIC's YouTube channel, UIC Live, to catch all of our episodes from the Late Night Flame throughout the semester. You'll also be able to catch wonderful content that takes place on campus as well. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications for UIC Live. Welcome back to the Late Night Flame. Eunice, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here to perform a stand-up set, Younis Dhaher.
Hey, make some noise. Keep it going. I just have the worst luck when it comes to relationships. You know what I mean? Like I dated this one girl, and the reason why me and her broke up was she always used to ask me stupid questions. You know what I mean? Like, hey Eunice, would you take a bullet for me? Would you catch a grenade for me? And I was like, yo, I'm not Bruno Mars. You know, like. Like, that shit sounds cool in a song. In reality, I'm not doing that, right? One day she took it to another level, and she was like, yo, wouldn't it be so romantic if we jumped off the Willis Tower holding hands? Like, yo, we're not doing that. And if you're from Chicago, you know it's the Sears Tower. You know, right? Jeremiah knows. Dated this other girl, and right off the bat, she was like, Eunice, I hope you're not a cheater, because if you cheat on a Muslim, it's worse than God's eyes. Yeah, and I was like, you're not even Muslim though, you know? So if any Muslim's getting cheated on, it's most likely me, and that's what it turned out to be. I say getting cheated on, I don't know. You guys wanna know the real reason why me and my ex of 3 years broke up? The real reason? It wasn't because George Bush did 9/11, even though he did. But the real reason why me and her broke up was simply because she was not my cousin. Okay, I'm joking. But my parents are cousins. Yeah, for real. Now, this is real. My parents are cousins, and I feel like, she rolled her eyes. I feel like if my parents weren't cousins, I would probably be way taller, way funnier. I'll probably look like the Irish dude who was here earlier. That's what I would have looked like if my parents weren't cousins. Not only are my parents, okay, has anybody ever told you, like, yo, what's your problem? You know, I'm like, yo, chill. My parents are cousins, you know. We're working on it. I failed an exam the other day, and my teacher pulled me aside. Hey, Eunice, is everything okay at home? I was like, no. My parents, you know, all right. What else? Not only, I'm in on this, not only are my parents cousins, but my mom was married at the age of 15. Yeah, and my dad was 30. Yeah, but it was a different time. It was the 90s, right? R. Kelly was making music with Aaliyah. You guys remember Aaliyah? Come on. Okay. But hey, that's my time, man. You guys were amazing. Keep it going for Jeremiah. That's all I got for you guys today.
Stay on stage, bro. Go back up. It's all good.
Trying to do the face so pace, I don't know.
We didn't rehearse it, so it's all good. But thank you, Eunice. I appreciate you coming out, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, crowd, for being amazing tonight. My thanks to Jordan, Rene, and Eunice. We'll be back next time with another episode. We'll keep you guys posted on when this one will be live for you guys. Remember to keep the creativity and passion burning. I'm Jeremiah Paprocki. Good night, UIC.